Hey, good morning. It's Hospitality Live with me, Rupesh. This is episode 31. Thank you so much for joining us. Today is a great conversation that we're going to have. It's an it's really stories and inspiring stories, and we've all been through a lot this week in the last couple of weeks, and I've had so many people send me a message saying I've lost my job, I've been laid off, furloughed. I mean, the stories just continue, and it's a lot of it's heartbreaking, and a lot of it's just ways we can kind of just help each other grow and have each other there to support us. Guys, thank you so much for joining us and joining me, and I have a bunch of people that are going to be on and make sure that we are live here. Yes, we are live. Thank you guys, everybody, for joining us. This is going to be a special episode. We're going to talk about stories. We want you to join the conversation, so like and comment where you're listening from. If you want to share your story of what's happening at your hotel, please send me a direct message here on LinkedIn. I'm happy to have you join this conversation where you'll go on live. And we do have some hotel managers, some leaders at some hotel management companies that are going to come on and talk about what's happening at their hotel. Some really good news too, right? It's not just all bad and grim news, but there's some great news out of it. I've heard hotels getting business from the National Guard and a bunch of great things that are also happening. People coming together, which is my favorite part. Can you hear me? I'm trying these new headphones on, and the last couple of weeks I've had some issues with the mics, and I'm trying something new, so I'm hoping you can hear me. Good morning to all the wonderful people that are online from all over the world. We have people from Italy, we have people from just all over the world. And guys, I want to thank you for supporting me and liking the posts and the comments and just doing all your part in making us whole, right? Making us a community here, because we all need each other. Sometimes you think that you're on your own, and sometimes you think you're by yourself. And, it's just so awesome to see all these wonderful people. I love that last week or 2 weeks ago, I created a little graphic, and it said support the hospitality industry. And I put a heart on there, and I just quickly did it in Photoshop. And I posted it up, and so far 75,000 people have liked it, viewed it, shared it. I think we've had over 3,000 likes on this post. Guys, I appreciate it. Spreading the word and spreading the cheer and the support of hospitality. This is all why we're here. And I want to bring on our special guest. But before I do, this episode is sponsored by PerfectLabor, by Hotel Effectiveness. These guys have sponsored me ever since I started this thing. Thank you so much to Dell and the entire team at Hotel Effectiveness. They're the perfect tool for your hotel to manage its labor, especially right now. And as we grow, I think there's going to be some great news coming out by the government here today, where they're here to support us and really support the community, especially the travel community, which is airlines, cruise lines, pretty much everybody, right? And I want to thank PerfectLabor and the team at Hotel Effectiveness for sponsoring this show. If it wasn't for them, we would not be on the air. I would not be able to do this on my own. And so I want to thank them. Guys, hit the link right here anytime during the show or after the show, hoteleffectiveness.com/Rupesh, and learn how you can gear up for the busy time that's going to be coming here to your hotel. Be positive. It's coming, guys. I think this is going to be short-lived. Personally, I think this is going to be short-lived. I think we're going to all get jobs back. We're going to have our hotels filled up. I am staying positive because I think this is going to happen. And I want to thank the group at Hotel Effectiveness with their PerfectLabor platform. Guys, it's a great tool. 4,500 hotels right now in the United States use them. They save hotels millions of dollars on labor cost and really managing it. So if you're just creating an Excel spreadsheet for your housekeeping minutes or your payroll, definitely use this because it's smart. It's a smart system that manages your labor, which is our biggest expense right now, right? And it will continue being our biggest expense. So go to hoteleffectiveness.com/Rupesh and learn how you can save right now. Thank you so much, guys. All right, on to the show. I have a special guest that I've been connected with on LinkedIn here for quite some time, and he's been doing some awesome things. I've seen all the stuff that he does on social media. He's inspiring. I want to call him Michael Falcon, but his real name is Michel Falcon. He's a restaurant tour. He's a keynote speaker and author. I'm going to welcome in right now, Michel Falcon. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Rupesh. Thank you for coordinating this. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for everybody that's taking some time to listen to us and other guests share some positive stories.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, if you want to be on this show with us, there's a few people in the background waiting to get on and share their stories. Hit the like button and then send me a direct message right now. I'll be looking at my direct messages on LinkedIn to see if to send you a link so you can jump on with us and kind of share your story. And it won't be all day. It'll be 5 minutes. Share what's going on at your hotel, how you're staying busy, right? And Michelle, as a restaurateur, you're in the same boat as we are, right? You're seeing the downturn, you're seeing layoffs, you're seeing all the stuff that's happened, right?
Absolutely. We were one of the first hospitality companies in Toronto to shut it all down, which meant all venues closed and unfortunately temporary layoffs. Um, we just saw it as being the inevitable. We took a look at what Danny Myers was doing over at in New York, pardon me, and we followed suit. And now, a week and a half after, the we operate in Ontario and Toronto. There was a state of emergency declared yesterday, which means non-essential businesses have to shut down.
Right.
So we did it early. I don't take pride in being an early adopter of this. I just made a bet that I felt like we need to shut this down, and we did. And please believe that we didn't want to. It wasn't. It was to protect the community and protect our employees. So
Right. Yeah, and what's going on there with the restaurants? You shut down early, so are hotels or restaurants in your market totally shut down?
they are now. They are now. Grocery stores can stay open, but restaurants, anywhere that people would congregate regularly, are shut down now. And what we're doing to ensure that we don't remain idle and that we are still moving forward is we're thinking about what type of content can we create, like the type of education we wanted to give, not just to our customers, current and prospective ones, but what about our employees as well? And all the things that we wanted to do prior to this that sometimes didn't make our strategic plan, or you know business happens and it gets pushed aside, we have all the time in the world now to do these things. So that's kind
Right.
of the fun part. I was on a 1 hour conversation with our head of marketing and one of my business partners and said, like, what do we want to do? Like, can you imagine that we created this education or content? So we
Right.
started thinking about some really cool things, and I'll share what we kind of came up with, and then hopefully that kind of starts you think for the hotel industry, like what could we do? But so we started creating these buckets of three core pieces of content that we would want to enrich the lives of our customers and our
Hmm.
employees. So one of them was profiling people. So we're going to go out and profile chefs of other restaurants. And for us, we don't care if it's a competitor, right? We're all in this together. It's an industry. We need uplifting content right now.
Right.
Profiling other people, profiling suppliers. And then the second bucket was like, did you know? So having our bar manager review Shiraz wine and really educating on that.
Hmm.
I was speaking to an owner of a Japanese restaurant and in Toronto, and I said, "You got to create some content. Like, where did the California roll come from?" I know the story behind the California roll. It came out of a chef in Vancouver actually invented it. So, like, let people know this stuff, right? Like, this is like, I know like some people might have a hard time creating this content, being like, "Well, where's the money? Is this going to make me money?" Can't tell you it's going to. But what I can tell you is that when this comes back, and it will, there'll be a resurgence. Hotels will be busy, restaurants will be busy again, and people aren't going to forget how you behaved during this time. Were you
Yeah.
an educator? Did you use this time to make people smarter consumers? Um, And then the third bucket is something that we want to do for healthcare workers. We're in day one of kind of strategizing. I told my team, I was like, I need 24 hours to think about this. How can we do this properly? So hopefully I'll come back and be able to tell you what we end up doing for healthcare workers. But my girlfriend's mom is a healthcare worker, and I'm lost for words. They're so strong. I can't imagine, like, guys, I don't want to say we have it easy. We do not. But in comparison to what healthcare workers are going through right now, and Rupesh, I saw the post that you did on LinkedIn to acknowledge healthcare workers. They're the strongest people right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so many of our family members that are in it and friends that are in it, and we see them working long hours. We see them risking their lives, which is the scariest part, right? You're out there helping others, and you're basically risking your life, and then you're coming home, and you don't know if you're infecting your family, right? So that's a huge risk for you to take, right? And so, yeah, we definitely appreciate all the health workers out there, guys. Hit the love button. I think we give some love out to the healthcare workers out there, and I feel like we're here to support them, so anything we could do to help them. I saw some hotel companies here this past week, and some organizations donate food, donate masks, donate money, basically, right, to these groups that need it the most. And uh, they need medical supplies, they need equipment, right? And so
To
I
the
think
food part, like one thing that we're looking at, and hopefully I can confirm, is we asked ourselves who of our suppliers are still operating right now that have potential funds to share with us
yeah,
to help healthcare workers. So we're in early conversations with our liquor suppliers,
yeah,
and trying to get a budget from them to be able to cover our food cost and a bit of labor for our kitchen team to get some work
right,
in isolated kitchens, and then let's just make 3,000 meals for healthcare workers. And this is going to be complicated on the
wow,
logistic sides for like hygiene and so forth. So we got to figure that out. But like, let's
yeah,
just go feed them. Like they're
yeah,
tired. Like they don't need to be making their meals to come to home. Let's do that for them. So we're looking at partners and saying, and we're not trying to, like, $0 for us. We are not trying to serve ourselves right now. It's
yeah,
just like who needs it the most. Like I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay. But so who else is gonna needs help right now? So
yeah,
just
yeah.
getting creative. And again, like I said, all the things that you've always wanted to do but haven't been able to do, now is the time to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that, you're supporting the industry, and you're supporting an industry that really, really needs it right now. They need everybody needs to be supporting them right now, right?
Yes.
We need the support too, but I think the healthcare industry needs it more than us. They're going through it right now, and they're saying it's going to get worse, right? They're still testing people right now. Not everyone's been tested, right? I haven't been tested. Have you been tested? No,
No, I don't
no.
even know.
So,
I wouldn't be able to tell you where I would go, right? And
right.
and there is no us if they are not strong.
Yeah.
So I'm all for putting them before us. Like let's be, yeah, there is no us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've talked to so many hoteliers this week, general managers, last couple of weeks, and they're telling me all these inspirational stories of what they're doing at their hotel, how they've stepped up, what they've done. Some people are working without pay right now. They just
Yeah.
love this industry where they're like, you know what? Don't worry, don't pay me. I'm happy to help, right?
Mhm.
And that's how much passion a lot of people have in these days. A lot of our businesses open just to support the payroll, nothing else, right? Nothing else right now. Every hotelier I've talked to, like, we don't care about anything else besides just supporting the payroll, just to be open to provide whatever we can for our staff and associates, right? Which is awesome, right? To hear no one's here to make money right now. We're not here to make a penny, right? We're willing to give back. I've heard hoteliers give money, give bonuses out. We actually gave a bonus out this week to our staff. We don't want to, of course, hours are cut, but we've made money this past 5, 10 years. It's our job, it's our duty to really provide for these line level employees and these leaders at our property that have worked their butt off. They really cared, and they've been dedicated, right? So I love that a lot of hoteliers out there, are supporting their associates, supporting their team, supporting their families, right? The team's families, and I love that. So, let's bring on some people, and then we'll definitely go into conversations of hope and inspirational stories, and what's happening at people's hotels, because I mean, there's so many different things. Guys, if you like this conversation, hit the like button. And if you want to join and share a simple 5-minute story of what's happening at your hotel, direct message me right now on LinkedIn and let us know. I mean, there's so many different ways you can support all of us, right? Even one little idea can help inspire so many different people that are watching right now. Over 80 people are watching right now live, and I guarantee you over 5,000 people are going to watch this within a day or two. And so your story, even if it's simple, and even if you think it's not big, inspires all of us, and that's I get a lot of inspiration just from those people. So guys, good morning to all the wonderful people that are online. Oh my God, we've had over I think we've had over 100 comments right now. Just so where you're from, guys, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know if you'd like to join us in this conversation. So the first person I'd like to join our conversation, Michel, is Mark Alvarez. And Mark, welcome.
Hey, good morning, Rupesh. Good morning, Michelle. How are you guys today?
Hey. Good morning, Mark.
Mark's with HP Hotels, and I was proud to join one of their conversations about a month and a half ago, where they do a weekly call. And Mark, thank you for inviting me on with their corporate team to just share a few ideas. And since then we've been connected. And Mark, what's going on with HP Hotels and your group of hotels?
Well, first of all, thank you for having this discussion this morning. I think it's a great platform to be able to share some stories and talk about what's going on in our industry. As we all know, everybody's been affected in some pretty dramatic fashions. HP Hotels is a third-party management company, so we work for a lot of ownership groups that have hotels throughout the United States, and we haven't had a bad ownership group that we've been working with throughout this entire time. Their first and foremost concern has been the health and safety of our team members, and how they can keep the hotels open enough so that we can continue to pay the staff that we have. Unfortunately, a lot of layoffs have happened, some furloughs have happened, and there's a lot of people that are displaced right now from work. And they're looking at how soon can we open, how soon can we get back into action so that we can really start getting people paid again so that the economy continues to grow in our sector. One of the things that we're doing at HP Hotels, just for the health and well-being of our corporate team members, is we came up with an idea to do a virtual happy hour. We actually call it Scrappy Hour because we don't want to go down without a fight. And it's something that we're going to do virtually with our corporate team members. The chairman of the company and the two partners, Mike Hines, Kerry Ranson, and Joe Powers, decided that, since we all can't be together, we can't travel as we mostly do. Let's get online. Let's share some stories. Let's decompress a little bit. The leaders in our industry have had some very, very challenging conversations with people that they never thought that they should be having or would have. Ownership groups have had those same conversations with us, and it's difficult for them. From somebody who's been in the 9/11 hotel industry and who's gone through a couple of challenges. We have all been in the same receiving end of layoffs and furloughs. So what we want to do is make sure that those leaders that are having those tough conversations are also being looked after mentally, because there's a lot of stress that's going on, and I hate to use this term lightly, but some people will come out with PTSD because of this. There's a lot of sleepless nights. So the scrappy hour is, hey, let's just decompress. Let's just talk about different things. Let's try to have a little bit of fun, as hard as that is to say in a difficult situation. But we really want to engage our team members and just be able to converse, because a lot of times we're on the phone, we're doing web calls, we're doing emails, we're answering ownership groups, we're answering employees, we're answering HR questions, and we don't have time to really help each other vent. And I think that's a critical component that needs to take place in our industry right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, are your hotels open, closed? What's going on?
We've been fortunate where the majority of our hotels are still operational. We're looking at this on a day-by-day basis. There are a few hotels that have ceased receiving reservations, and we're looking to displace some of the travelers that have reservations to area hotels. But for the most part, they're trying to go day by day and see really what's happening. Our sales teams at our hotels are coming up with creative ways to engage the community. Everybody's still trying to work with FEMA or the government or healthcare workers. One of the things that we're also looking at, and two other heroes that I want to point out, are the truck drivers. and the groceries, the
Mhm.
grocers. You know, those people that are driving the trucks cross countries, a lot of them don't have a place to stay. They're afraid to get off and stay in a hotel just for their health
Right.
and safety, so they're staying in their cabs. You know, pull into a hotel's parking lot. It's well lit. There might not be a lot of people there, but at least you can feel safe and secure. We have stepped up our communications with police in our hotel areas so that they can
Mhm.
patrol our markets a little bit more and have the truck drivers feel safe. We're also offering discounted rates and specials for week stays, et cetera, for grocers, so that they don't have to go home and potentially contaminate their family members. But there's a lot of grocers that are coming, you know, in contact, close proximity with the public, because they're an essential business. But they're working
Right.
a serious amount of hours. They're trying to get food on the shelves as fast as they can get, you know, items stocked. They're flying off the shelves. You know, grocery stores are opening early for the elderly. They're staying open as late as they can just to try to, you know, help the community out. And I really want to thank them. Not to discount the healthcare industry and the police and the fire departments and everybody else that's pitching in during this critical time. But those guys really are working their butts off. And I just want to thank them. So whatever we can do to help them out, we absolutely will.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, if you're listening, please go out there and see what your local police department can, you know, what you can do for your local police department. You know what? If it's just coffee that you have that's just sitting on your shelf, go make 5, 10 pots of coffee and bring it out to the police department. You know, there's simple things that you could do that really can help support these guys that are working long shifts, and they're stressed out just like we are. It's not like they are a different person, right? They are the exact person that we are. And a lot of these times I've heard a lot of stories where people are like, you know what? Here are some things that you could do right now as a person, right? To stay motivated, to stay positive. And Michelle, I hope you could chime in on this too, because it's important. Like the first thing is, don't stay in bed and feel bad about yourself. That's like the number one thing. All of us, guys, don't feel bad that you've lost your job. We're all dealing with it together, right? So get out of bed, go take a shower, put your clothes on like you're actually going to work, even though you might be just hanging out with your kids, right? Or hanging out and doing work from home.
You know,
Don't be
Rupesh,
that.
I read something this morning. Somebody posted on working from home, and they said, "Put your shoes on." And I didn't think of that. You know, I work from home when I don't travel, so I'm
Shoes
used
on.
to exactly. And what is happening is in the thread that I had read earlier was, you know, a lot of people are putting on their flip flops or their sandals, and they said that mindset is just, you know, too casual to be able to really perform and think
Yeah.
clearly and do work. And your mindset is not of, you know, being at an office. So
Yep.
it's something as simple as that. And then, you know, the other thing, if you have the ability to walk around your block, just take a break, walk outside. I try to get out every hour for at least 5 minutes and, you know, take my dogs outside and get some sun, so that we're not staying locked in.
Yeah, absolutely. Michelle, what do you think?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. You know, in kind of I'm kind of unemployed right now too. All the restaurants are shut down. All my keynote speaking got completely canceled. But with the at-home work, this is kind of new to me. And I reached out to somebody and said, "How do I do this well?" And
Yeah.
it was everything you guys mentioned. The shoes part's interesting too. I'm barefoot right now. I'm gonna put some shoes on after this. But Mark, you had mentioned that kind of the mental health part. That's one thing that I'm very concerned about for our employees, and of course our customers as well too, and everything that they're battling. But with our employees, I asked myself, what are they potentially struggling with the most? And you know, that could be financial insecurity. And how is that going to impact their mental health? So one thing that we did as an organization is we reached out to a specialist, an energy and breathing specialist, and he just hosted a 30-minute virtual energy and breathing session. He was willing to do it for free, and we just sent the link to our employees. We didn't mandate it. It was just like when you need it. And I've had employees say like, this is helping.
Yeah.
So what are some other things? But I'm very, very cognizant of talking about mental health because it is so sensitive. And
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of people online who aren't practitioners of it. Like it's be very careful with the advice that you give somebody if you are not an expert, which is why I said, this isn't for me. Let me go find somebody for our team.
Yeah.
These are some of the things, like maybe, recommending podcasts to listen to, or certain, like the Calm app, like things like that you can be like, what can I do to serve our team right now? We don't have a lot of funds right now, but that doesn't excuse you from finding things that are cost effective. Things that are working for you as an individual very well could work for some of your team members. So to your point, and I think it's worth saying to your team every hour, if you can, is like, we are all in this together. Nobody has a historical playbook for this. There is none. Right. So we're all learning it. And Mark, to your point, where your clients are taking this day by day, we really are in every respect. We do not know what tomorrow brings.
Right.
I believe, I'm not American, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the stimulus package was signed last night. So what does that mean for our industries, right? So again, day by day, something is new. It's going to be good news. There's going to be bad news. But we just take this day by day.
Yeah, and I think what you hit the nail on the head, trying to get other people to help out the mental health of not just, the leadership that is dealing with some very difficult decisions, but, the employees. And we've reached out to some employees who we know have hobbies such as yoga, and, asking them if they want to host a yoga workshop at one of our properties. Obviously we're not able to support a fund for that, in most of our hotels, but at least it gets people out of the house in a very close proximity where, they're able to be in an essential workplace like the hotel, or go to the grocery store. And even if they're doing it out in the parking lot for 5 people, it's still something to stimulate that mind, get the blood flowing, and just also to talk. Because with social distancing, we're limiting our interactions as much as possible. Which is the virtual happy hour that we came up with, hashtag scrappy hour from now on. It's just, again, it's an opportunity to just talk. A lot of leaders just don't have the ability to vent or speak freely. I think they try to make sure that they're the strong ones. And I think that's a very challenging situation to be in over the course of your career. So you have to talk, you have to engage. And this is a perfect platform. So Rupesh, I really, really commend you for being able to host this and let us speak and share some stories.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark, can you hang on a little bit longer, or do you have to go?
No, absolutely. I can hang on.
Okay, up next is...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Something that you had said before Mark jumped on, in how you have some managers, or you've heard managers working for free. I would never ask anybody to work for free. However, it reminds me of something. I'm going to borrow it from Simon Sinek, but leaders eat last. And if I was a team member, I would look at this as a great opportunity to put a massive feather in my hat, because when this passes, those people are going to be remembered for everything that they did, how they led their team, how they behaved, how they stepped up. Again, I'm not saying you should be working for free, because but what else are we going to do? Right? Like I spend half my days right now being like, how can I serve other people? And I'm not like, oh, and don't forget to write a check to my name, right? Like, no, it's not about that. It's like our character building and so many other things. So for individuals listening, like the leaders eat last, like it's a great opportunity to build your personal brand within your organization, and your organization will be back.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Guys, this is the time when you can be remembered for your leadership, right? No matter who you are, no matter what position you have, no matter how much money you've made in your life, no matter where you are in your life, this is your time to let people know what you stand for, what you believe in, and how you're going to support people, right? I truly believe this. Like, your leadership shows right now, right? It's not the good times that we're known for. It's these bad times that people are really going to remember you, right? And so what do you do? You step back and think about what you're doing right now to inspire others. Guys, hit the like button if you totally believe this and you're living this, right? Because it's super important. People are looking up to you right now when they don't have a job. They're looking up to you when they don't have anything besides maybe this LinkedIn Live, or maybe just this hope that something's going to get better, which, guys, guess what? It is going to get better, right? I totally believe this. Now, on the line with us is Amy Austin, and I'm going to bring her in. Hey, Amy.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Amy
Morning, Amy.
Austin.
Good morning from
Amy
the
Austin's the
balmy
general manager.
upstate New York. Yes, it's very, very cold here. We were expecting spring, but we got a surprise with about 10 to 12 inches of snow the other night. So that was that brought some people in and got them off the road, and we took care of them. So I am with the Home 2 Suites up in Queensbury, New York, which is upstate New York. And we thank God for having our doors open, for having a company who is doing a rebuild for the local Target, staying with us for quite some time. So we have a nice base long-term stay right now. We're doing everything we can to use what we have as far as resources to, every day make sure that the hotel is spotless. Sanitizing and cleaning and making our guests feel that, nothing has changed. You're still coming home to the Home 2, and we are still your family, and we are going to take care of you regardless, no matter what it takes. So we're just, taking it day by day. Unfortunately, like you've all said, we've had to kind of tighten our belts and let some people go on furlough. I don't doubt that they will be back very soon in the near future. So that's pretty much what's going on in our hotel. We have seen probably about a 38 to 40% occupancy this time of year, which really isn't too bad for us up here. But it's more about, in addition to everything that we continue to do on a daily basis for our guests, the additional things, helping them get their laundry done and things like that. It's taking care of each other at this time, making sure that each and every one of us is okay, and making sure that we have what we need, and really putting a special thank you on to the people who stayed on to help us during this time, because it is very difficult for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, people are afraid. Your staff's afraid. Guests are afraid. And you have to lay people off, and you've had to really reduce your hours for housekeeping. And I see that you're working the front desk, right? You're involved in operations
Yes.
and stuff in
Yes.
positions that you weren't in the past because you had a big team behind you, right? And now it's that
Right.
team's been pretty much whittled down to a few people at your property. And by the way, I'm
Correct.
a partner at the Home 2 Suites that Amy works at. So we see, and I talk to the partners up there, and we see how much is down, and then where the business is coming from. And good news this week, where one of the partners sent me a message saying, hey, we got this one little piece of business, right? So there is hope out there that hotels, don't just sit back, but really reach out to the community, reach out to these different governmental sectors and see how you can get some business. Amy, what were some things that are kind of on a positive note that you saw coming in this past week?
We saw sort of trickling in people who had to travel for different reasons, and in their minds they're thinking, every hotel in this area, small town, must be shut down. They were happy to find that our doors were wide open and we were welcoming them home. And we said, we'll take care of you for as long as you need.
Right.
We've got breakfast in place. It's a little bit different than it used to be, but we have that, and we have a very caring staff,
Right.
mostly made up of managers who get together on a daily basis and, do what we need to do. And we found that because people like it here so much, they're extending their stays, which is great news.
Right.
So people are getting off the road, coming in, which we love to see. And we're spreading the word for those people that are still, that we know are doing big jobs in the area here. Those essential jobs that are out there, we are making sure that they know where we are, and that we're open, and
Yeah.
we have rooms available, and we'll take care of them for as long as we need to.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think service still counts right now. So don't just say that we have 10 rooms or we have 5 rooms. We're going to stop the service part, the customer service part, the engagement part, the really making people feel special part, right? It's still alive, guys.
Right.
Don't forget that part of the business, even if you have 3 rooms or pretty much down to a small group of people entering your door. And I've heard
we treat them the same as we would if we had 95 rooms in and it was July or August, or they're just as valuable as anybody who has ever came through our door. We're not making them feel special, but we're making them feel at home, and we're trying to make them feel safe, know that we're doing everything that we can do from our end as far as sanitation and keeping the hotel clean, and providing individual, more personalized services if needed, on a one-on-one basis to
and this is the time. I mean,
make them feel better.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the time, guys. I believe this, that if you have 5 or 10 or 20 rooms or 30 rooms sold, guess what? You have even better opportunities to make connections with these guests, right? You have like this one-on-one. Right. They're not leaving your hotel because there may be essential workers that are staying with you, right? They can't leave until they get direction of where they're going. So they're spending 12 hours a day at your hotel or the whole day, right? You have this opportunity by distancing yourself, keeping that distance away, but still connecting with them, calling them. Hey, this is Amy at the front desk. I want to make sure that you're okay, and if there's anything that you need, I'm happy to provide, for you, or we're here to support you too, right? We understand the hotel is quiet, and it feels like it's just secluded, but there are times that I've heard a lot of hotels that are open, and Mark, you can chime in on this. Is they've shut down floors, of course, right? They've unplugged everything, so there's no power going to anything, which is understandable. But the floors that are open, guess what? They're separating the rooms by 5 or 10 rooms or 3 rooms. Is that what you guys are doing?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that we also are making sure we do is, there's a couple of platforms to communicate with guests, and we're communicating with them just so that they don't have to leave their room. They don't have to come downstairs and, talk to anybody face to face. We've distanced the front desk a little bit, so we've put some stanchions out in many hotels as well. But we still want to make them feel at home. We want to make them feel welcome. Amy, I commend you. Everything that you're doing, making people feel at home. That's what our business is about. We're all servants,
right?
And we provide a service to people. Michelle does the same thing. You're providing a service to your team members and to your customers by showing them some training abilities or some new classes. So anything that we can do to keep that communication with our customers and our team members, I think is great. So thank you, Amy.
Yeah, thank you, Amy.
But the other thing that we're doing is really getting to know our guests very well, as they've been here for a long time, and we hope to that they continue. They're supposed to be here, for another month or 2. So we're excited. We're happy about that. We've without getting, with using social distancing and things like that, we have been able to get to know our guests very well. We know when they work, when not to bother them, and we've created some really good relationships with our guests. They are happy. They're not gloom and doom, come in from work. We know that these guys that we have work all night long. When they come in, they want to grab breakfast and they want to go to their rooms, and they sleep until 6 o'clock, somewhere around in there, so we don't bother them. Um, but the other thing is just, like I said, making everybody, when they walk through the door, we welcome them home.
Yeah.
Because we don't know, what their situation is. We don't know why they're here, some of them, and, we don't ask. We just let them know that, this is your home away from home. We're here for you. Anything that you need, um, you know, we're on it, or, we'll bring it to you. You don't have to come and get it.
Yeah.
So it's the little things like that really, make that connection with the guests and make them feel at home.
Amy, thank you so much for joining us, and I
Sure.
appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Bye, Amy.
Thanks. Bye,
Take
Amy.
care, everybody.
Thank you, Amy.
I know she has to go. She's
Stay
working.
safe.
She's
Thank you.
busy. She's busy at the front desk, and she's taking on a lot of responsibilities that she hasn't in the past, where she had a team behind her, right? And we talk about people, and Michelle, your whole platform is people first culture. That still stands right now, as we might be closed, or we might be limited as far as service. What can you speak on that?
So the people first culture, which I wrote the book about, essentially is building a business that's admired by employees, customers, and the communities that you operate within equally. It's not customers first and then employees get whatever energy we have left over. It's just all across the board. Specifically speaking to employees, there's three things that we promise to do. We're going to pay you. We're going to pay you on time. We're going to give you learning and development opportunities. I cannot do two of three of those things right now. So we're doubling down on the third thing. We're going to give you learning and development opportunities. You've been temporarily laid off, but we're still going to try to educate you in everything. If you wanted to learn how to read a P&L, we'll teach you right now. If you want to learn how to build a digital marketing plan, you got it. Breathing exercises, sure. There are no rules right now, right? Our operating plan gone. So
Yeah.
Which is kind of fun. We get to color outside the lines right now, of course, ethically, right? But we get to color outside the lines and do things that we're like, can you imagine us doing this? Somebody asked me, well, what if they don't come back to your business? Well, then they don't come back to our business when we open. That's okay. That's so disingenuous, being like, I'm only going to serve the people that are going to come back to us. Shame on you as an operator if that's the way that you're behaving right now.
Yeah.
To our point, and we're going to keep beating this drum. We're all in this together. And I kind of use myself as a case study with my team. Is like, I have the same fears and anxiety that you have right now, but we really do have a choice. If you're going to, curl up on your couch and watch Netflix all day, I'm not a mental health expert, but I'm going to assume that going for a walk, if you're allowed to in your city, might be better for you than
Right.
curling up on your couch. That book you've been meaning to watch, that podcast you've been meaning to listen to. Right. It's a very exploratory phase for people right now. I'm learning a lot about myself right now. I've had ebbs and flows of positivity, and then there's been times where I'm like, I just need 30 minutes to sulk and say this sucks. But I quite literally put a timer on my clock. I said, as soon as that hits 30 minutes, no more sulking. Right. And I don't know what a psychiatrist would say about that. Maybe that's not the best practice, but you know what? For me, that's working for me right now. Right. If I want to be in the shower, just being like, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. But as soon as I exit the shower, no more. Put our shoes on is what I learned today. And then we go back. I a strange way, I don't mind what we're going through right now because it's showing us how gritty are we, right? There's somebody has their foot on our throat, and pardon the expression, but are you going to get out of this? Fight or flight, your fight and flight mechanisms are being tested.
Yeah.
This is gonna turn around.
Yeah.
And I don't like using the word easy, but I will just for a moment. Business might be more manageable when we come back because we've been beaten up.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping it's like the Roaring '20s. My father was born in 1944, so he wasn't alive for that time. But I've done some research, and the Roaring '20s, it was a great time for business and so forth. So, I'm hoping for that as well. But I know that I can't wait to be a customer of a hotel, of a restaurant, and just sit and
Mm.
that cocktail, have that Diet Coke, have that smoothie, and just be like, and show the appreciation. Be like, I don't know who you are, Mr. or Mrs. Bartender, but I thank you. And
Yeah.
I had that thought
I
just
love that.
a few moments ago, and I'm like, that's going to be a great time. And guess what?
I'm writing this down.
If you can afford it, that person's getting 100% tip. If you can afford it, or
Yeah.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
That
Michel, guess
feels
what?
amazing.
Yeah, guys, guess what? When we get back into business, do you think people are going to appreciate their job more than they ever have before? If you're listening, are you going to go back if you're not working and appreciate what you have? Because guess what? You're not in a hospital. You're not dead, right?
Yeah.
You
Right.
have what you have, and guess what? Now you're going to appreciate it. I feel like I'm going to definitely do that when I get to start connecting with a lot more people and reaching out, going to these events, going to these hospitality events. I mean, who else agrees? Comment, let us know. I mean, I already see some people, Jill, Don, everyone's like, yep.
I'm looking forward to the morale. Like, morale is going to be so high. Productivity, absenteeism is going to go plummet. Assuming that people are healthy, of course, we're going to bring our whole selves to work. Like, it's
Yeah, I
gonna
think
happen, guys.
the energy level is going to be amazing, and I agree. I think the other facet of the world that I'm very much appreciative for, and I don't have younger children anymore, are the educators. So many people that I talk to have younger children that are staying at home, and right now some people are on spring break and others are still taking online courses, but it's a very challenging environment to spend a full day with a toddler or a preschooler or an elementary school student who has a lot of questions and wants to get outdoors and do things and have energy. So one of the people that I will thank the most is going to be the educational community for putting up with our kids and handling a full day with 30-40 children at once. And the people that service the staff, the cafeteria staff, everything that they're doing. I can't say enough. So yes, thank you to all the service workers, but there's so many other people that, we kind of take for granted. And I wrote something on LinkedIn the other day. I said, should I be mad, at this whole thing that's going on? Should I be sad about everything that's going on? And I was walking the dogs, I walk several times a day, always in the morning, always at night, and sometimes during lunch. And I've seen people outdoors, and we're still keeping distance. We'll cross a sidewalk, but I've seen people playing basketball at the high school, playing beach volleyball, a group of 3 people. I end up seeing all this, and I'm very happy that people are at least being communal and enjoying the little bit of freedom that they're able to enjoy safely.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's going to be. I think it's powerful right now when you can even say hello or acknowledge people, right? Everyone's going through something right now. Everybody, including myself, everyone's going through something right now. So it's really our job to inspire others. Notice them. Just pay attention. Like, just notice them. That's all they want. People just want to be noticed right now. They just want to be part of a community, and that's what we're doing here on LinkedIn. That's what we're doing for our team. Mark, what are you guys doing as far as education for your staff that is at your property or been laid off? Are there resources that you guys are using? And guys, if you're watching, is there an education that you're using out of maybe the brand, out of maybe something else that you're doing as far as online that you're learning while you're home? You have all day now to learn about something. I hope you're not watching TV where you're actually improving your brain, right? That's what I've been doing. I've been listening to podcasts. I've been connecting with a lot of people. I've been getting up, putting my shoes on every day. My wife's like, "Why are you wearing shoes in the house? We don't wear shoes." She's like, she's been teaching our kids, like, don't wear shoes in the house because we don't, right?
There's no rules anymore. I told
There's no
you.
rules. You're right.
The rules are out the window.
I have been putting my shoes on because I feel like I'm at work. I feel like I'm not going to sit around and you know, here, listen, here's another hard thing. When you're at home, especially me, I want to keep eating. I want to keep going to the pantry. I want to keep going to the refrigerator, and I have to stop myself. I have to catch myself not doing that, because guess what? We can't fall into that trap, right? We can't fall into, oh, I'm going to watch TV. I'm just going to keep eating, because guess what? That's going to, and I'm not a professional as far as psychology, but these are the traps that can kind of bring you into a bad state of mind. And I've seen that because it's happened to me in the past, where I'll start going down this path. And I thought I was starting last week, where I was like, you know, I haven't worked out in 10 days. I haven't done anything to kind of support myself. I've been helping other people. I've been like thinking about other people where I haven't done something for myself. And I was like, you know what? 3 days ago, I was like, I'm going to get up and just go run. And that's what I did.
There's a thing that I learned from the airlines, which is put your oxygen mask on first. You know, they always teach you before you put it on for the children or somebody next to you. And if we're not putting on our oxygen masks, you know, we're not going to be able to help anybody else, whether it's our customers or our family members or not. So I agree with you, Rupesh. Like, we have to get out and do some kind of physical activity. We have to be mindful of our diets. Last week I was guilty. I think I was eating every snack that we could possibly find in the house. I was, you know, being creative with all the junk food I could possibly create and make crazy things. And then I thought, I can't keep this up. This is just not going to be good.
I went to the grocery store and I went to go reach for a big bag of chips, and they're like, "Who are you kidding? You know yourself, right? Like, this is gonna be gone before you even check out." On the second to what you said, Mark, I actually have spoken at length with a couple people, and like, you need to put yourself first for a period of time to ensure that you're strong. I have people counting on me, and I'm not useful to them unless I'm as strong as I can be. And when I do have those moments of self-doubt or whatever, I need to kind of isolate myself a little bit and just get out of the room, or maybe get off the phone or whatnot, because I don't want that negative energy to go to them. Or I've had emergency calls with a friend who's a psychologist, and like, I need you to listen. And one thing that I have learned is that when somebody is going through this, and I learned this from a trained professional, when somebody is reaching out to you and saying, I'm not well, whether it's an employee, a customer, or a family member, or whatever, you know, asking them, do you want me to listen, or do you want me to distract you from what you're feeling right now? So a distraction would be like, let's dance. Or
that's great.
You're going to listen to me sing, and I suck at it. And it's going to be so bad that you're going to forget about what you were thinking about before. Or I'm just going to listen, right? So like I did not know, I know so much about myself and these best practices now that will make me a stronger human being. Forget about the leader or professional, but just human being, right? And Rupesh, to your point, standing up, and as a leader, we signed up for the hardest positions. You know, times of being strong during times of turbulence, dealing with these things, because as a leader, people look at you and be like, what are we going to do? Right? So if you can't be, to Mark's point, if you can't be strong to pave that path, the whole team is going to sink. But like, for leaders that love it, like, that's the great responsibility we signed up for. And in a way, it's fun because we're being really challenged right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, people remember you. People will remember you right now. The way you've treated them, the way you spoke to them, right? The way you communicated with them. One thing I never did in the past, I've never done this actually before until this past week on Monday. Actually, over the weekend, I was talking to a family member, and they were like, "Well, we gave a bonus or a gift card, a grocery gift card to all our staff members because we see that they're struggling." And I was like, you know what? That's a great idea. So I'm sharing this for the people that have been fortunate enough to save some money, owners, to go out there and do what you can to inspire your team, even if they haven't been there. So we've laid off a few people, but guess what? They still got this grocery gift card. It wasn't a lot, but we gave them something, right? And one thing I never did, and we talked about this in the past episode, it was, hey, create a Excel spreadsheet with all your hotel vendors and make sure that you have an updated contact list. But one thing we didn't think about last week was make an Excel spreadsheet with all your associates, your employees,
Right.
your staff members, get their email address, get their text, or get their cell phone number. And this is what we did. On Monday, I sent an email to everybody. And those that didn't have an email because they just don't have an email, I sent them a text from my phone saying, hey, thank you so much for your dedication. We're going through this difficult time. And we went on and talked about how we're giving them something little, right? And how we appreciate them. And people remember this. And I've gotten responses back from everybody saying, hey, thank you so much. And these are the times where people remember you as a leader. These are the times where people, they will remember you in the future when they're thinking of other things that they're having challenges in their life. Like, who were the people that supported me? And I love that we can do that as far as anybody, really. You could do this for anybody at the end of the day, right? So
suppliers is great, right? Because you ultimately, sometimes you might think, well, we pay them, they should be asking how we're doing. That's not humanity, right?
No.
Whether you pay them or they pay you, reaching out to them and saying, hey, I have this link to this breathing exercise you might want to try out. Don't treat them like second-class citizens because they're the ones that's supposed to be taking care of you as the supplier or the vendor. It's really just the humanity part of it. Everybody's
absolutely. Well, Mark, I appreciate the conversation here. Any last words of inspiration or hope that you can share to hotel people, hospitality people across listening to this? And then
I have just a couple quick things. Communication and attitude. Communication is key across the board, right? With our employers, our team members, our family. Communicate. Mental health is a serious issue, and I believe strongly that communication will help a lot of people during these times. And then attitude. We don't always have the best attitudes. We have stressful times. Michel said it. He puts a timer on 30 minutes. I love that. I think it's fantastic. But when you get out of that sulking mode or that ability, to get out there, have the attitude of positivity and share it with people, as attitudes are contagious.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think people rely on you. Like it's kind of like walking into your hotel, and if the owner or the general manager is mad, guess what? It affects everybody else. And Michel, what can you say on that when you smiling can be a huge impact on somebody, right? Guests, your staff, everybody.
Yeah, self-audit. I like to check myself regularly and ask myself, how are you doing? Because to Mark's point again, you're not going to help as many people as you can if you're not in a good position. And then if I'm not, the stigma of a leader has to be the strongest person in the room, I would say so, but it's fine if you're feeling a bit of vulnerability. So if you do that self-audit and feel like, what, I'm not good right now, reach out to somebody and talk, and hopefully everybody has somebody within their network that is kind of a professional to be able to give some sound advice. But the positivity part, although it might sound cliche, is very important right now. Uplifting spirits. That's what I'm recommending.
Yeah, this is a time where we have that opportunity. We're home. We're all home right now, right? If you're locked into your house, what can you do? What can you do, right? We can either just sulk and be mad about everything that's happening around the world, and guess what? Your family members feel it too. Or you can say, listen, you know what? We're going to get through this no matter what, and we're going to start learning things. We're going to start taking in and making yourself feel good first, right? And then making others feel good. Yesterday, I spent 45 minutes talking to somebody that I just met at a meeting when I was up in New York 6 months ago. And he sent me a message saying, hey, I love that you're doing this LinkedIn Live, and I've been following you for a while. Shout out to Warren. He has a small consulting business. Same thing. His business is slow right now, and he's trying to build it up. He said, hey, I see that you're doing a LinkedIn Live and you're doing all this content. How are you doing it? I jumped on a call. I said, let's schedule it out. I jumped on a call, and he didn't pay me, right? I just jumped on a call and said, here, this is where you can start. This is what you can do. Here are the tools that you can use to improve or build your personal brand. Here are things that you can do. And he I shared a lot of stuff that he was like, oh, I wasn't even thinking about this stuff, right? It's when you connect and contact people and you do it genuinely, right? I knew that he was coming from a genuine place. And I knew that he wasn't trying to get me on the phone just so he can sell me something, right? In the end, but he was being genuine, saying, hey, I really want to learn this. And I really appreciate that. I spent 45 minutes talking to him on the phone and gave him all these great tips that I would do for anybody. If you're genuine, you come off as a genuine person, because that's all I want. I want that same feeling that, you know, when I reach out to you, I want that same, you know, genuineness where I'm looking for something just to learn. I'm not here to make any money off of you. Somebody sent me a message this morning on LinkedIn, said, hey, this is a great opportunity for your website. I have another website on the side that supports hotels. This is a great opportunity for your hotels to sell masks to protect your guests and protect you know, your guests and your employees. I said, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to make money, profit off of a crisis like this, right? There's enough times when in my future that I'm going to be able to make money. I have a whole lifetime of a chance to really do that. Now is not the time to be preying on people or making money. I'm not here to make money today. I'm here to support this community. I'm here to support all of us, right? I want to teach people. That's all I want to do. And I feel good when I can get messages saying, hey, this one little thing that I learned got me going, right? And that's what we're here for. We're just here to survive and grow, right? What do you guys think about that?
On that note, Rupesh, and I'll have to jump off in a moment here, but
yeah,
Zoom, the teleconference platform whose stock is performing extraordinarily well, all things considered. But on March 13th, the CEO of Zoom said he instructed his staff, his sales and marketing team, and said, if you leverage this opportunity for money, I think that's a horrible culture. And I agree. And right now, I am a student of business. I'm observing what are companies doing right now, for good and for bad. Like, I've seen some companies be very malicious right now, and I'm like, shame on you. Ford just announced that they're pivoting their business for a moment to go build ventilators. We'll remember that, Ford. We'll remember that. I'm not going to buy a car from you tomorrow, but I'm going to remember what you did. Right. And people are being exposed for good and for bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll all remember this, right? So guys, thank you so much for this opportunity to connect. I know a lot of people if you've learned, I tell my kids every day, or when I drop them off, I said, just learn one thing in life. Today, all you're doing is learning one thing today. Not 50 things, because we can't remember them all. So if it was, Michelle, if it was putting your shoes on every day because you're going to keep that mindset of keep going, do it. Mark, if you're going to inspire people, you know, and continue connecting with the team, I love that too. So guys, I appreciate this conversation. Thank you so much, guys. If you found this valuable, please connect and hit the like button and share this, because we want to continue growing this community and we want to continue inspiring you. And by the way, connect with Michel right here on LinkedIn. He's trying to build his LinkedIn, you know, his LinkedIn community. There's that. And Mark, how can people find you?
I'm also on LinkedIn. I'm connected through you as well. So Michel, I'll reach out to you to connect.
Yeah.
HP Hotels or Mark Alvarez on LinkedIn, either one. Yeah,
absolutely. And Mark, some of your leaders at HP reached out to me this week. I really appreciate that. Just checking in on me, which is awesome. So guys, check in on your friends, check in on your connections, check in on your team, because we all need, at this point, we all need each other, right? We're all here to support each other. That's all we can do. Guys, appreciate this conversation. Talk to you guys soon.
Thank you so much.
See you guys. Have a good afternoon.
Thanks. Hey guys, what did you think about this conversation? If you liked it, please hit the like button. Comment what was one thing that you actually learned today, right? I learned a lot. I actually put some notes down. That's going to help me out and continue sharing. If you need something, if you're feeling like you're lonely, reach out to somebody. Send me a message. I'll send you a message back saying, hey, here's a few things that I could do. Here's a few things that I could share. I'm looking at these, all the people that are on, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate this. This is a fun conversation. You know, next week will be something different. I don't know. We're living this day by day, and I appreciate this, guys. Hit the like button. Share this with somebody that you might know that would love it to join on next week. And we're going to do this every Wednesday. So let's continue chatting. And guys, what do you think about the idea of me just getting on and teaching you tomorrow, maybe, how to improve your LinkedIn profile? Simple thing. You know, a lot of people make the mistake of not having their entire LinkedIn profile optimized. I would love to share this with you. What do you guys think about this idea of just doing simple little things to improve ourselves? You know, we have a great time to improve our resume. This is a great time to improve our profile on LinkedIn. Let me know if you like this idea. I'm happy to put this together tomorrow, probably through Zoom or something like that, where we can all connect and 100 people plus can get on and just learn, right? That's what we're here for, guys. Enjoy your day. Be safe out there. Inspire somebody else. And I'll talk to you soon.